Welcome to Raider Talks. I am your host, Art Navarrete, here alongside Nick Ibarra. And before we get started, hit that subscribe button down below for Raider content all season long. This is the Raider Talks game preview. We have the Raiders versus the New Orleans Saints. Nick, should be a fun one. How are you feeling about this game ahead?
Yeah, I'm excited. Coming off the, big win, a significant win against the Texans, just the amount of points that we put up, both sides of the ball looked really good. And you want to build off of that second half. And I think you come into this one, and you haven't been in New Orleans since 2016, and we all know how that panned out. That was a really good game from start to finish. The ending was unbelievable. Fast forward for 5-6 years, back in the Superdome, and we're going to come in here and hopefully build off of what we did last week.
Yeah, it should be a fun one. The Saints play in the Superdome, and I think the Superdome is a tough place to play. The way it's built, the way it's constructed, it just makes it tough. They have a lot of fans that pack the stands, and it's never easy to walk away with the win in New Orleans. And this is a game the Raiders, you can't steal this one. You got to win this one, and you got to play good.
Yeah, you can't steal it, just like you said. You're going on the road, East Coast time. You're taking that plane over there. You got to play good. And it can't be like last week where you're sitting there, drives are stalling, everything doesn't look good, you're getting manhandled a little bit. You got to come out from the start, put up some points. Whether if we're going to spread the ball around with DC and all of our receivers, or if we're going to punch them in their mouth with Josh Jacobs and, hey, this is the way we're going to go today. We got to set the tone early and put some points up on the board.
Yeah, these are some of the interesting matchups that I'm looking at in this game. Derek Carr versus Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Versus maybe Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. So they have their three quarterbacks that can mix in there the whole game versus DC for the Raiders. And how are you feeling about Derek Carr, and how are you feeling about our defense stopping those three quarterbacks?
Yeah, first up with Derek Carr, he's been looking better and better every week. And, I think the thing is, and, you kind of see it with just this offense in general, I think maybe it was just comfortability. Everybody just get comfortable. Everyone's now comfortable now. It seems like it's starting to click. I think Josh Jacobs really got this offense going. And it's just starting to click, and DC's getting better and better and better. And it's not even looking at stats. It's just looking at him, the way he's throwing the ball, the way he's doing things, the way he's running for first downs, the way he's just standing in the pocket. But just the way that he's doing things is great, unbelievable. If you want to look at stats or fantasy points, whatever, go ahead. I mean, that probably isn't your quarterback, but I know my quarterback, he's just looking good week after week after week. And as far as their quarterback situation, it's a situation. Jameis is healthy. They don't want to go with him. They want to go with Andy Dalton. They still got Taysom Hill that, is a kind of a dual threat right there. That when he gets the ball, something weird's going to happen. He's going to run. He might pass it. So that's the thing you look for. I think there's a good chance we do see Jameis Winston in here. If we go up big early, or, if Andy Dalton doesn't look good early, and they might come in with Winston. And I think you just got to expect the unexpected and just see what happens.
Yeah, I think this will be starting off with the Raider defense. I think this will be a good test for the Raiders defense, especially because you might get all three. You might get two. You're for sure going to get two because Taysom Hill will play in this game, and he comes in, does his thing. It's going to be interesting how the Raider defense, goes and plays against them. Yeah. Let's see how they step up. Let's see how the linebackers play. Let's see how the line plays. We've been good against the run all season long. Let's see if we can continue to do it, even if there's some trickery.
Yeah, our defense has been shaky most of the time, but I think one thing besides kind of last week that you can look at is the run game. We're stopping them. We're making some big stops happen when they run the ball, and we stop them. 4th and 1s, 3rd and 1s. They try to run the ball on us, and they don't go nowhere. You gotta stop Kamara, and that when Taysom Hill gets the ball, like I just said, something weird's gonna happen. He's probably gonna run. You stop him too, and that could be a field day for these linebackers and safeties as well.
And Derek Carr, for me, I think he's, like you said, he's getting better each week. And the comfortability, like you said, in this offense. But I think you're seeing Josh McDaniels' coaching working on Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Because there's some things like we talk about, not staying in the pocket long enough, not giving other guys chances and throwing away too quick. Yeah. He's not doing that anymore. He's waiting to the last second, looking downfield, checking his check down. Okay, I'll throw it away. But most of the time, he's able to find someone and make a big throw in big moments, and it's opening up more opportunities for this Raider offense. And then running for first downs. He's doing all the little things that Raider fans talk about Derek Carr and get upset with him about. He's doing all the right things right now, and let's see if he can keep moving forward and keep doing that, because there's been times where, you know, DC looks good for 3 games, 4 games, and he'll come out, maybe throw a couple picks or kind of lay an egg a little bit. I don't expect him to do that, but I just want him to stay on the right track, and he just can't have a bad game.
Yeah, I think we need him for this stretch. I think we need him and Josh Jacobs. I think these are 2 most important people to going into the stretch for the final season. I know about Devontae, and I know Max Crosby on the other side, but I think in order for this to work, we got to put up points to win games, and it's going to start with those 2 guys.
Yeah. Now let's go on to the top receivers for both teams. Devontae Adams, how is he going to do against this Saints secondary?
Yeah.
And then Chris Olave, how is the Raiders going to stop him?
Yeah, Devontae, you know, it's a little scary situation. I know he's sick. He's been out these past couple of days. There's optimism that he's going to be healthy, fully ready to go Sunday. So, you know, we'll just prepare, like if he's going to play, get him going early, you know. And I think in our wins against Denver and last week, and then, you know, even against the Chargers, you got him going early, and once he's going, he's ready, you know, and get him going early. And I think you know, and I think that's the big thing for DC too. You know, they find him, they got that connection, and it gets both of them going for the rest of the game. As far as the Saints, they might not have Michael Thomas. I don't know about Jarvis Landry, you know, and you just brought up Olave. I mean, you know, we got Rock, who can possibly lock him up. You lock him up. I don't know any other weapons on that offensive side. And then go into the run game with Kamara and Taysom Hill. Yeah,
I was going to say the same thing. Chris Olave, if we can get Rocky Sin to get going and really put some pressure on Olave, then if you take him away, then they have to resort to the run game. And when you know it's a run, it's way easier to stop the run. I'll tell you that. And the Raiders have been good at the run all year long, like I said. To Devontae, he's been getting better and better every week with Derek Carr. Man, I can't say enough about this guy. He's really good. You force him the ball, he's going to make something happen. And not only just him being in the slot, not only him just, you know, making the 15-yard, 10-yard routes.
Yeah.
It's the deep threat right now that's changing the game for Derek Carr. Because when Derek Carr had Henry Ruggs last year, when they got going, that's when Carr was at his deadliest. That's when the offense is at its most deadly. And Devontae Adams is taking that role, being a deep threat for us, and I like that. Also, Mac Hollins, he's doing that as well. But we need the deep threats, and that keeps the defenses on their toes, and that keeps Derek Carr happy, because Derek Carr loves that, and it opens up, you know, the short game in passing, and then it opens up the Josh Jacobs doing his thing.
And not to mention DC last week, I think I don't know what's considered a deep throw, but I think it was 10 or 15 yards downfield. He was 8 for 8, 140 something yards in a touchdown, you know. So the comfortability is there, and you know it helps that Devontae can go out there and go get it. It helps that Mac Hollins can go out there and get it. And you know, as we've seen from the past, not really much this year, you know, Waller and Renfrow can go out there and get it too. You know, all these guys, when fully healthy, when fully comfortable, they're all threats from all kinds of ways. You know, you can line them up any way you want, you know, go deep, stay right there, you know, a little screen to them, or you know, a little slant, little 5-yard out, just whatever. And I think that's what makes this deadly. And I'm just hoping that everybody gets comfortable with it. We see the old Renfrow, we see the old Waller, healthy Waller, and all this just comes into fruition. And man, this offense would be so much more deadlier than we are right now, and we were like the 3rd-ranked offense in the league.
Yeah, the most fun matchup of the day, I think, is Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara. Josh Jacobs is the reason why we're getting our passing game going. It's the reason we're able to have big plays in the passing game. If it wasn't for Jacobs, we would be so predictable as an offense, and it wouldn't be good. Just like the first 3 games, we were predictable.
Yeah,
you knew we were passing the ball on certain downs. Now, Jacobs is back there. Defenses don't know what's happening, and that confusing the defenses having the linebackers be like, oh, am I doing this, that? Having the DBs like, oh, this, that is affecting the game. And this game is all about trickery. It's all about talent, making the defense seem like we're going this way, but we're going that way.
Yeah.
And the Raiders are doing that right now. And Josh Jacobs is the main reason for that. He is running like an animal. He's running like a beast, and it's no exception. I think he's going to do it in this game. And then Kamara, I think he's a very talented young running back. Saints fans really hype him up. NFL hypes him up.
He's a dual threat. He can catch and
he's a dual threat. But I think Jacobs is going to win this duel.
Yeah, Jacobs is just on such a hot streak. He's the reason why I think we think this offense can be elite. I know it technically kind of is or whatever, but he really started this. You know, he got us our first win against Denver. Him and this line has, carried, his past 3 performances, and it's crazy. He's, averaging almost 150 yards, a couple touchdowns, and just keep on feeding him the ball. And me and you kind of talked about this. What if they established the run kind of early in that Charger game, or didn't abandon it in the Cardinal game? He can be the leading rusher right now with a bye. Instead he's, I think, 90 or something yards behind, and I think that's easy work when Saquon Barkley and Nick Chubb going to bye. What he's doing right now is amazing, and it's weird because let's go back 8 weeks. We didn't know who was going to be running back one. Everybody freaked out when they saw him play in Canton in the Hall of Fame game. Oh, trade bait, or no, he's not going to do this, or, it's going to be so-and-so or so-and-so. And, now you fast forward it. We're after our bye. He's the top 3 rusher. And what he's just doing these past 3 weeks is even harder to do in Madden. You know what I mean? And he's unbelievable. And I think this is the Jacobs that we wanted to see these past couple years. And now that we got this high-powered offense and everything, it's good to see it happening now.
Yeah. Let's go look at this Raider offense. We got some key weapons in Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs. Yeah. You got Darren Waller. You got Foster Moreau. You got the wide receivers in Mac Hollins, Hunter Renfrow, and then, Devontae Adams. Man, it's going to be fun to see him against this defense. The Saints defense is a decent defense. They're okay.
Yeah.
They're a lower pack defense. And these are the games that kind of scare me. I feel like against a good defense, I feel like Carr just tears them up for some reason. I don't know why he does it.
We can look at Denver and everybody like, oh, Denver only allows this or only allows that, and Carr gets the job done, and Carr tears them up.
Tears them up. But these games right here, where it's a lower pack defense, let's not play down to their level.
Yeah.
Let's play our high-powered offense we've been playing the last 3 weeks, and let's put 30 on the board.
Yeah. I don't know what happened in that first half last week. Nothing was kind of going right. Drives were stalling. Plays were looking kind of crazy. Our 3rd and 10s were making it look like it was 3rd and 30s, but we were just, giving screens, or here, Abdullah, try to get the 10. I don't know what was going on, but you saw a different offense in the second half. You saw a lot more good play calling, and everything was just running perfectly. You carry that over to this week, and like I said, you got to start early. You're on the road. You got to start early, put some points on the board early, and really set the tone.
Yeah, I think this offense can put up 30 points in this game. I hope they do. They got some key pieces on their defense. Cam Jordan, who's a really good rusher. He's going to get to the quarterback a couple of times, I'm guessing. And then you got the Honey Badger back there. He's always been pretty good. Let's go to the Raider defense now. And like I said, it's all about stopping these quarterbacks. Dalton, Hill, and Winston. I think if you stop those guys, I think we're going to win this game. And then just the run game in general with Kamara also. I will count all 4 of those guys. You got the Raider linebackers who have been pretty good. Last week, I was really impressed with Blake Martinez.
Yeah.
Denzel Perryman's been really good. I think it could be a big day for the linebackers and the interior defensive line to stop this run.
Oh, yeah. I think everything's going to come at you this way. And just like you said, linebackers, the interior, it's right there for you. Go bring them down. This defense can have a field day, and I just think, why not? Why not Sunday against this team? Kind of a struggling team. Got a lot of question marks. They're sitting there arguing about who their quarterbacks are even, going to be. We know it's going to be Andy Dalton, but there's a lot of raised eyebrows over there about Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton. Go out there, show out. and like I said, build from what you did in the second half against that Texans game, and play complete full 4 quarters, and this could be another big significant win.
Yeah, if the Raiders can get a significant win, then everyone's feeling pretty good about the Raiders going into these next couple games that are getting easier. Besides that Colts game. I think that Colts game in Las Vegas is going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
But we're in Las Vegas, so we should win that one. But the rest of this stretch, the 4-game stretch after this, gets much easier. Especially, it's tough to play in New Orleans. Now you got games in Vegas. Now you got games against teams where you're going to play at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's warm out there. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, we're in a dome, obviously. It don't matter that much. But we'll see how it goes. It's going to be a big one. This is a big one.
If you sit back and just look at it, the rest of our schedule, or these next 5 games getting towards December, getting back to 500, it looks doable. And I think we win this one, we're going to do this, and it's doable. You look at all the stats that are coming out, advanced stats or not advanced stats, simple stats. We are a top 3, top 5 offense in this league. And, you go by every category, first down, scoring, doing this, doing that. We're top 3, we're a top 3 offense. DC's running a really good offense. McDaniel's calling a really good offense. And I still feel like we haven't clicked. We haven't seen much of Waller. We haven't seen much of Renfrow. And these were supposed to be 2 of our guys who were supposed to come in and make an impact quick. And they haven't yet. Waller's getting healthy. Renfrow looked good last week. Hopefully he can build off of that. Devontae's going to do Devontae. And Jacobs is just heating up. This line is getting better. Mumford's looking really good. Parham's looking really good. Andre James looks like a top 5 center in this league. Colt Miller's doing his thing. Everyone's doing their thing right now, and I still feel like we're not clicking. And it feels good to know that what we're seeing is not a finished product, and we're still right there, top 3, top 4, kind of top 5-ish in this league offensively.
I hate saying this so early in this little stretch we're going on, but I think this is a must-win game for the Raiders. I think they need this one.
On the road, we can't. We're 2-4. I don't think we can sit there and afford to lose
our 5th game against the Saints.
Yeah,
in New Orleans. We need to win this one.
I don't want to see our 5th loss until later on down the road. And if we're being honest, I don't want to see it till December, and even then, I don't want to see it because those games mean something. This is going to be a must-win. And I think no matter what, AFC and AFC West opponents are definitely must-wins. But if you look at this on the road, your first 10 o'clock game, not your first 10 o'clock game of the year, but still on the road, NFC opponent, someone that you don't really see. This is a must-win. With their quarterback situation, what they've got going on, really inconsistent team. You come in kind of hot, just do your thing, let Jacobs run, let Devontae go, and let DC do his thing, and we come out of the Superdome with the victory.
Yeah, it's key for the Raiders to stay at that 4 losses and get to that 4 wins. Get back to 500. Get back to kind of a clean slate where you can just say, okay, now our season starts.
And everyone's bunched up in the playoff race, and then just the AFC. Everyone's bunched up. Everyone's kind of losing. Everyone's staying around that 2-3 loss mark. Some 2-loss teams, some 3-loss teams are going to lose this week. So we just catch up, gain ground on them, and hopefully, kind of like we said, by Thanksgiving, we're either in the hunt or in the thick of things.
Here we go. Who's your offensive and defensive player of the game for the Las Vegas Raiders?
Offensive player of the game, I'm going Derek Carr. He's never lost to the Saints, 2-0. Played a really good game in 2016 and played even a better game to open up Allegiant Stadium. Come from behind win against Drew Brees in this team. I think he sits there in the Superdome, has a field day with Devontae with all of his weapons, and gets the job done.
I think Josh Jacobs will go for 150. I like Jacobs. I like the way he's been playing right now. I think he's been as good as Derek Carr's been, as good as Devontae Adams been. I think Josh Jacobs has really carried this offense, and I think it's going to be no exception in this ball game.
Yeah. I'm going to say this, no matter if you pick Devontae or whatever, we're going to need 2 of our guys to really be on point if we want to win this game. Defense player for me, Max Crosby. I think he not that he didn't have a bad game last week, because he didn't. It actually was a really good game. But when I say bounce back game, he's going to put some sacks on the board. Yeah, he's going to put some sacks on the board. And I think he's going to be close to the leaderboard or even on top of the leaderboard after the end of Sunday. With his bye, he's close to that sack leaderboard, and just what he's doing is unbelievable, crazy, and it's going to put some sacks on the board, some tackles for losses, probably even a couple of batted balls, and really has a field day.
I want to say Denzel Perryman because I think they're going to run the football a lot. I think linebackers are going to be a big deal in this game. But I'm going to say Max Crosby as well because Max Crosby's been excellent in the run game this year from the defensive edge position. And then I think he's going to get his sacks in this game, whether it's Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's slow. Yeah. Andy Dalton ain't the fastest guy in the world. I think Crosby's going to get to him. You got Jameis, who runs around a little bit. I think Crosby does good against those guys also. Taysom Hill, if he wants to, do some trickery, I think Crosby can get there before that trick play develops. So I like Max Crosby getting some sacks in this game. Like you said, batted balls and all that. I like Max Crosby in this game.
Yeah. Before we get into anything else, do you think that this is a little important game for Jonathan Abram and Cleveland Farrell, knowing that the trade deadline is Monday, and I think already 3 or 4 teams called about Abram?
Not for Clee. I think Clee is he's the guy in our defensive line. It's him and Chandler. I mean, you put in either of them in. I think they even like Farrell more than Chandler at times. He's playing more in
certain situations.
In certain situations, he's playing more. I don't think it's a big deal for him, but Abram, I do think it's a big deal that he plays good if he wants to continue to be a Raider.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
I think anything can happen. I saw today that, they're calling about Jabril Peppers. So that's just one of the things that, it could swap. You can send him this way, go bring someone else in. I think it's going to be a big day for Jonathan Abram if he wants to be on this team come Tuesday.
All right, let's do our keys to the game.
Yeah, I think time of possession. Time of possession is key. I saw a stat today that, we're top. Like I said, this offense is top 3, except for, I think, the drives we have and the time we have the ball. That's low. And, I think time of possession is key. Josh Jacobs is running really well and keeping the clock moving in favor to us, and I think we need to have the ball more than they do.
I think let's set the tone for the running game early. Give Jacobs the ball early in this football game. Set the tone in the run game, and I think that's going to open up the pass game for the Raiders. I think every time when we let Jacobs go to work and get something going, get our base, then we can just do whatever we want. So if we get this run game going early, we just pound the rock. I think this field's going to be open for our offense all game long.
Yeah, I think second for me is score touchdowns. Don't stall. Don't sit there and kick field goals. Put up some 6, put some 7s on the board. We kind of saw it last week. It happened one time, but we put up touchdowns, and that's how. Blowouts kind of happen. We won by 18 last week. That's how it happens when you sit there and, you're efficient in the red zone. You put up 7s. You just go put up touchdowns. Whether it's passing, whether you give it to Jacobs and let him just roam in there, put up 7s.
For me, 4 quality quarters. I think the Raiders have had games where they played only 1 quarter. They've had games where they played a very good 2 quarters. They had games where they played good 3 quarters. Let's play a solid 4 quarters. If we just play solid for 4 quarters, we're going to dominate teams because we have so much talent on our team. Let's play a solid 4 quarters, not too many mistakes in each quarter. Let's just play the game 1 quarter at a time, and let's win each quarter, and we'll come out victorious, and it'll be significant.
Yeah, and I think last for my third thing, and it's what got us the win against Denver. It's what got us the win last week. Get Jacobs rolling early. Get Devontae rolling early. After 2 drives, Jacobs was already at 30-something yards, and Devontae was already at like 4 catches, 30, 40 yards. Get them going quick. That's what makes DC comfortable. That's what makes this whole offense comfortable. Get them going quick, and after 1 or 2 drives, we could be up. We could at least have 14 on the board.
My last key of the game is get rolling early. Whether we get the ball first, we need to score a touchdown if we get the ball first. Yeah. On defense, get a 3 and out. Get a stop early in this game. Let's score. Let's step on the throat. And let's kind of take this crowd out of it. If we could take this crowd out of it, then I'm feeling really good against this team because I think the crowd is the reason why it's going to be a tough football game. Yeah. And if we could take the crowd out of it early, get them a little silent, not as loud while we're on offense, then I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, with everything going on, their quarterback situation, they're 1-3 at home. Let's go do this. Let's go get our first road victory, and let's go do this and get this season keep on rolling.
Here we go. Raiders Saints score predictions, Nick.
I think it's going to be a 35-28, 35-30 kind of game. I think this might be a little scoring back and forth game. I hope not. I hope our defense steps up. And, this is a game kind of like last week, but you always can't count on that. Offense is going to be there. It's just a matter if we get stops or not. I think we get at least one timely stop or a good stop, and we come out of here 35-28, 35-30 ball game.
I got the Raiders winning 38-24. I have a pretty significant win, and I have pretty significant points the offense is going to put up. I think this is the week where we click in all cylinders with if Waller plays. I think he's going to play.
Yeah, he's looking good.
You're going to get him going. I think you're going to get Renfro going. I think Devontae's getting better each week. You're going to get him going even more. And I just like the way Derek Carr's been playing. I like the way Josh Jacobs has been playing. I think our offense is just going to get better week by week. And I think there's going to be a point eventually in the season where we're going to start scoring 40 points plus.
Yeah. We kind of everything kind of clicked in that second half. Build on that, and play a complete game. And this could be ugly. We said it even before the season. Once everything clicks, and offense looks really good, and defense gets some stops and gets off the field, some lopsided games can happen. And we pulled away late last week, and that's the 18-point victory is what happened. And why can't you do that again? Play good, play clean, play solid, and it can happen again.
Yep, gonna be a fun one. Raiders Saints. We'll see you guys after for the game recap. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.